Okay, so we're calling to order, I guess David should do it, but I'll do it. The March 10th, 2020 Historical Commission meeting. It is 9:12 a.m.
You read and approve the minutes. We've
Yes.
read through them, so they look fine to me. I
Okay,
make a
so-
motion that they be approved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, aye.
Since I wasn't here.
I was trying to say I was right. Yes, I'll call to order. So, okay.
First order of business, yes, as you all know, Sean Aldrich and his family have moved out to Tucson, Arizona, back in November. I actually sold their house, which was a sale for me. And we've been blessed with a new member, Sarah Guyman.
Thank you.
Sarah lives downtown at 2 8th Street.
Yep.
In the historic house. Can give us a 5-minute blurb about your knowledge of this town and your
Okay.
involvement in town.
So, I love history, so of course one of the first things I did when I came to town was go down to the library and browse through the archive, which used to be in that glass case instead of the lovely way that you have it now.
Yeah, I was trying to get into the junk store the first time. I was like, what is this?
Yeah. So, and I'm familiar with like the Macris, because, I do the Eternal Residence of Pine Grove, which is my little personal history blog that I, do for fun.
Mhm.
So, I play around on that and play around with death records and so on and so forth. So, that's my connection to history. So,
Yeah, and Sarah's done some stuff for the Historical Society too.
right, when I can, yeah.
Yeah.
Usually my schedule conflicts with it because I'm always working Tuesday nights, but
Yeah.
you know how it is.
Exactly.
Get there when I can.
So, and then Sarah, for your information, so David's the chairman, is
Yeah.
that what it is? I'm the secretary, and then I think Sean was the VP.
The VP. So we may need to reassign you. I know you've already been sworn in
Right.
and all your information's been signed in, so maybe we assign someone.
Do we need
have a
that
vice-
title?
I don't
I'm
know.
not sure
Do you need a
what that
vice
person
president?
did.
I think technically we need it for records.
Right.
But
Mm-hmm. Should we offer it to Betsy? It's not here.
Yeah. That's usually how it works.
I approve.
Yes.
Second.
There you go, right? That always happens to the people that aren't
Not
in a
at the same
meeting.
time.
Yeah.
No, they
Yes.
do. You get voted in, and they elect you,
Come
and
in
then
with
you
all
come in
kinds
and
of
you're-
jobs you
Right.
didn't know you had.
All right, so we'll talk to Betsy and see if she will accept that.
Okay. And Sean, to go back a little bit on Sean's stuff, he was good enough to, and before he left, gave me a stack of stuff that he had at his house. Some old files. I haven't even looked through these because unfortunately, as we'll discuss, my computer no longer plays discs properly.
So these are
Um,
probably photos of the
These are probably
properties?
Douglas house photos. There's a couple different files here. Mumford River pics. So there's a few files that he dropped off with me, again, back in late November. I haven't looked through them.
So if you want, I can take them, download them, and then throw them onto that Google Drive that I shared with
Okay.
Right,
everybody.
yeah, so that's
Oh, I
probably the
forgot
best.
about the Google Drive.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to do that.
I mean, if you want,
Yeah, that's perfect.
And this is-
So, Sarah, to catch you up, well, Sean, I don't know if you know him, but he was he didn't die. He was a big photographer.
Yeah.
but he moved, so
And
he doesn't count anymore.
yeah, he's actually shared some good, just photos around town with me, which I use for the Historical Society more. But, so we've been working on this historic district, which David, can you kind of tell what the historic district, it's like downtown,
It's
but it goes
downtown
from-
going out Davis Street, just a little bit. It goes out down I think it goes down to Hartford Avenue, just before Bangmas Golf Course on the left side and right side. There aren't a lot of historic properties in there, but the few that are 20s and 30s vintage. It's the whole downtown district. So out Manchog, heading towards Manchog, but not. It only goes out a little ways on Manchog Street, down Gilboa to the corner with North Street, and then out those half a dozen houses that are along Gilboa before you get to the envelope company.
Right, all right.
And I actually went down and re-photographed a couple of those because the photos I had were not good. And then on the west side, it goes up to Franklin Street off of Route 16. But I think we have a few properties on Franklin Street. But
Yeah, I
not-
think there's just a
like
handful on
handful,
Franklin
like
Street,
two
and
or
that's
three
the
up on Franklin
end.
Street.
So I
And then
think
it-
your house would be on it,
Yep, and then
right?
it goes up, here, it goes up Depot Street and Martin up to about where the railroad bed is, because those are mostly historic properties that way.
Mhm.
And then the rest of it is all, the downtown area.
And it's
Yeah.
pre-1950?
There are, yes, mostly pre-1950. There are a number of infill properties, quote, non-contributing, that are in that.
So now it's
Yeah.
really 1970 if we're talking 50 years,
Yeah,
right?
right, but
Mhm.
still, a lot
I
of the
like
19
1950, we're gonna stick with 1950.
Yeah.
I'm
um,
just
So
saying.
that's the district right now.
Yeah, sorry, I jumped ahead a little bit, but so Sue Perkins, who was part of this group, and Sean Alders had gone and taken, before we really knew or had access to the town site that has all the photos and the maps,
Okay.
and had taken some photos around town, so that's probably some of what's on
Right.
those discs, or the photos that Sean had taken.
Okay.
And I know I have downloaded them onto my computer, and so I've got 3 or 4 really big files of images and some of the mapping and all the 200 some odd
Yeah.
files for the downtown district.
I'm out of order, but maybe let's
Budget
stay
review.
with the historic district and go back to the budget. It looks like you have one of the B forms I did, just.
These are, again, this was just
Especially
stuff that
just to
Sean
show
dropped
Sarah
off.
what we're talking
Yeah.
about, and I think Becky has seen them, but just
This
as
is
a reminder,
the old
the old
B
version, yeah.
forms. And again, the whole district was documented back in the
Yeah.
80s.
Right,
Um,
I know those.
all right, yeah.
And they were, that
I've
was
I've
all,
seen
it
these.
was all
It's
hard
a-
copy.
It's
the
the building,
library
it's the
with
building
them.
book.
The building.
Yeah.
And it hasn't changed that much, it's
No.
just more, it's all digital now.
And now it's all
Right.
digitized.
And
I gotta say
Word
though,
documents.
the building book is better than the digital because, can I see? for
Oh,
myself?
yeah, yeah. Let's get all the back.
Macris doesn't have this.
Right. Some of them do, but not all of them.
Most of them don't.
So the new form doesn't have that historical
No,
significance?
the website does not give this
Oh,
information.
right, that's what's taken mostly David's time to fill
Right.
that in.
And this information is what's actually, has some of the more interesting.
Yeah, the
Like why
rest
it
is like.
contributes, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
That's the one problem with the online system is it does not include that.
yeah, so a while ago, we like passed it around,
Right.
so I think Sue had done all the forms, so she filled in the text.
Right.
Sean added the photos, I added the map, and then we have like a Word document with all that stuff in there.
Right.
But then we looked, so we've been wanting to submit this as a historic district to the Mass Register of Historic Places for a while, and then we realized, oh, there's like that narrative's missing in a lot of them. Oh, we don't know what roof is, foundation,
Yeah,
that kind of
so
thing.
what I've been doing over the past many years has been filling that documentation in. And I'm mostly complete. One of the issues, and it may be strictly a software issue on my computer because I have a 10-year-old laptop. And so I think what the problem seems to be, and it's not on all of the files, that's what's been driving me nuts, is that if there is a file that already has the photo in it, 9 times out of 10, not that this is a big deal, I don't think it's gonna be rejected by the MHC, the image size doesn't fill the entire block. There's a square. It's, it's the replacement for this
Right.
actual photograph. There's a square. I cannot drag and make that image big, and make it match.
Is it readable, or is it
Oh, it's
teeny
readable, it's
tiny?
fine.
Then that's
It's-
probably
It's
fine.
fine, it reads fine. And they are most of the images from the Douglas website. But, let me finish me
Yeah.
out. If I go take a document that Sue had done, it's got the map, it's got most of the history, I go and I fill in the additional information off the old building report. In most cases, Sue did that, and that information is included.
Mhm.
If I go and drag a photo in, it goes in fine. If I try to save that as a Word document, it doesn't save the image.
Mm-hmm.
It saves the map, it saves everything else, but the photo doesn't take. So I can't, so I've been putting those into an uncompleted file, saying, okay, I need some other way to do it. I can save it as a PDF with those images,
But they want it as a Word document.
they probably don't
right?
want it as a Word doc,
Yeah.
so,
Could you save it as a PDF and then convert it back to a Word document?
that's what I've been
afterwards?
trying, and so far, my system goes, nope. So again, it could be that I don't have an updated Word,
Yeah,
'Cause
I
I
have
know
an
the
older
word
version of
changed.
Word, but it still
so it
seems
may
to
be
be
worth,
fine.
it may be worthwhile having a work session where we go through
Really
that.
stupid question. Could you do it as a, not as a Word, but as an open office? Does that
I
change
don't
if you
know
try
what
to
that
do it
is.
as an?
I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
He's got Mac though, I don't
I
know
have
if
a
that
MacBook
works.
Pro.
So Word is Microsoft.
Yeah,
Open Office, you can use, oh God, what are the different ones? You can use Word, you can use Google, you can use, oh my God, what are the freewares? The different freewares. It's just
Mhm.
saving it as a different format.
Right,
I believe it's ODB or something like that.
ODT,
Something like that.
that's no good for
Um,
most people to open.
But I wondered if it would save the pictures. As long as you're doing everything in Word, and if you save it like that, you should be able to open it again exactly as it was. I'm just saying it might be a different format that'll save the pictures as long as you keep to the same exact system every time.
So that's one idea, we give you one other. So I have a Mac too, but I don't have the most updated Word, but it seems to be, I use it all the time for work, so I am usually able to see
yeah, I think
everything,
my
save
system is, it
everything.
doesn't have it.
And I have an earlier version of all the properties that we did.
Right.
So I can sort of be the translation,
Yeah.
like from David's Mac, because you sent it to me in Pages, I think, before.
Yeah, and then,
Which
and
I
what
can
it-
save
and
as
this should
Word.
be, this is a sampling, hopefully, of probably 30 or 40 properties, maybe more, that I did and just downloaded onto this for the first time. This was just an experiment. And I wanted to give them to Dawn, say, see if you can open these, see if they look fine. If it wasn't corrupted, then we can go from there. So
Okay.
again, I've got almost all the
You could
properties
always,
in there.
you could also email me a single Form B and a single picture. I don't have a Mac. I work on a PC.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See if I can do it on the PC. See if that makes a difference.
Okay, I can email it to you once
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get
yeah.
it.
But-
You know, but not the whole thing. Just send me one in
Yeah, I
one in
understand.
one, just
Yeah.
to see. And I
But
can
again,
also.
ones that already have the image in there, in Word, I do two things, because I'm paranoid. I save it into my Pages file on one folder, and then I save it as a Word document and put it into the Word document folder.
Mhm.
And anything that already has the image in there saves just fine,
But
in
this is-
Word and,
But is this Sue
Pages.
that was doing it?
yeah,
Was Sue working off of a Mac or a PC?
I think a PC.
I honestly think that might be the factor. Is the
Yeah.
PC over the Mac? If that's the case.
But it came to me usually last, and I have a Mac.
Yeah,
But are you were you saving the new one? I'm saying the new ones. Like you're trying to do new
well, we'll
ones.
know better after she
Yeah.
looks, when you look at those, again, I didn't include any of the ones where
Yeah, I
I
mean, we can
didn't-
make anything work between
Yeah.
our computers. I'm just trying to figure out what's like our quickest way there. I'm
yeah,
not
it
sure.
might, it might be
know
just
yet.
me having an upgraded to a new map, to a new Word file, and then it goes, okay, yeah, fine, works, I
Yeah.
just haven't done that yet. And I didn't
So-
wanna go down that road
Yeah.
very far until we actually found out what the
Yeah.
issue was.
So the question for you, David, I guess, is like I can, like how many are like in flux? You know what I mean? Like we have, there's like 50, 70 properties that we're talking about, right?
How many properties are downtown?
In this district, do you remember?
Oh, there's like 225.
Oh, 200. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's a lot.
Okay.
But I would say 80% of them are okay,
Okay,
because they have the images already in them.
okay.
But some of the ones, I sent an email about this. I don't know why, and I'm discuss this here, but I'm missing the whole key downtown area from the library to past the church, the building block. I'm missing
Kind of the
those folder, the main,
section, yeah.
right down there. I've got everything from Franklin Street all the way downtown, going all those Greek revivals,
Yeah.
all the way past Depot Street, up to the library, the hotel, and then right there, the files stop, and they don't start until like 300 something when you're past downtown.
Mhm.
And I've gone through all the different files, and
So
why are those missing?
you're almost at the fork, where
Yeah.
you've got the photos again.
Right, but I never think of, then I've got everything from there, C Street, all the A, B, and C streets over in your area, those are all good.
Yeah.
So it's, but I
There's a
said,
list
why are
somewhere
those?
that lists like all the properties, and
Yeah,
then, like
the
I said,
street
I
list.
have,
I have the street list.
I have the vast majority as a Word document, but not in a completely finished form because
Right.
they're missing those little
Yeah.
bits of text. Most
Yeah.
of them have a map and a photo.
Right,
So it sounds like we need to like merge
Yeah,
together
yeah,
what we
yeah.
have. So I don't, for you're left to do, I'm not sure what that is, and if it's, I don't know if it's written somewhere else, you know what I mean? If it's just putting it, I'll bring my computer to your house and
right,
just
we may
fill
do
it in on a
that.
Word doc.
First, let's look at,
Yeah, step one
look
is
at
to
that
see
file.
what's there.
see if those are working. Two, I will try to download a new version of Word, my wife uses Word all the time. and others don't.
Yeah, I can
And-
send you, send you a document and maybe that would help you
Yeah,
do that.
and try that. If that works, fine, then I can just complete them. You know, there's a smattering of maybe 15, 20 properties that aren't in the district, or that are in the district that I can't load the photos in.
Okay, yeah, if it's just 15,
Yeah,
I
it's not,
can
it's not
make
a
that
lot.
work.
Like
Okay.
I said, worst comes to worst, I've got that PC, I'm really good on computer stuff.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not.
I'm really good on it. I'm good at the troubleshooting, I'm good at making things work.
Okay, okay.
But I know
So-
you sound like you usually have have a fairly packed schedule. Mine's eased up a little bit.
Well, no, like something like that, I can
You
do.
work in
While,
your spare time.
I can do while we're watching TV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a person who I listen more than I watch, and I'm always on my computer. And if it's literally just trying to get things to fit in,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sitting there and like playing.
I've gotten like, it was mostly putting in, what's the proper roof, what's the proper foundation.
it's data
that stuff.
input.
It's data input, yeah. It's not a big deal, but it's tedious.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it.
Are we? Or do you think we're gonna end up doing something like the Belding book again? Because I've gotta say the Belding book is very useful.
Well, the goal is to submit it all to the DHC, to the MHC. I assume, once that's in place, a file can be created, a database for the whole thing. And the next step, I think, when we have it completed, is we have to mail out something to every resident in town that is in the district, saying if you don't want to be in the district, you have to write back and say,
Yeah, and there's
and
some,
it has to be and there has to be greater than 50% rejection for the district not to go forward.
But I mean,
So
there's
our-
no actual rule. Like, it's not like you're marking it as a historical home or anything like that.
right, so that's gonna be our big task, to reach out to people. I'll put something on Facebook when we get to that point. It's dispelling the rumor that, "Oh, I can't paint my house, I
Yeah,
can't do
right, it's
anything
not a-
to the
it's
stair."
not a-
It's none
it's
of
not
that.
overlaid by
The Jenk
law.
store has one of those,
Yep.
and they can't do certain things, but that's a very special scenario. We're just talking about a layer, you know, you could put a plaque on your house if you wanted to, and it's just a layer if someone were to knock your house down. It's just saying, oh, it's on the historic district.
Right.
You have to have a review twice a group
Right,
like
and
us.
if, and in the major other protection feature this provides is, in the event that the state wants to widen Route 16, wants to do other stuff downtown, whatever, the fact that there's a historic district there, rarely do they ever want to mess with that
Are
and
we
get
to-
into it.
Are we ever? We're a historical district up by
Yes.
us, right?
Yeah.
Where do we go? What's our area?
It ends at your house,
It ends at my house.
ends at your house, it goes down Oxford Street, past Wally's,
Yep.
all the way to the town common, of course.
Yep.
It goes
So
out.
basically, the whole.
It goes down the old inn, or the tavern,
Yep.
Betsy's house,
Yep.
the house across the street, I think one or two down, southwest Main.
Okay. A
Um,
little past Lorraine's old shop.
Yep. The house that's right in the corner of Route 7, the cemetery, of course.
Yep.
And then it goes down to
Well, I'm sure-
Manning's house, the Peterson's house.
Yep.
The old school,
Yep.
and that's kind of the district there.
Okay.
And then, although Town Common, and then up Church Street.
Okay.
So
So,
there's probably 30 properties in that.
So basically, when we complete the state historic district, it gives us, did I hear it right, that it would give us a demolition delay? Like if someone were to request a demolition,
Yeah,
it would be, we'd be able to delay, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and this is another
That's-
really, this is another really important thing, I forgot to say this, is that, so the library, I'm on the library trustees too, and
We need that historical
so
district.
so if
Funding.
we're to, so yeah, if the library's not in a historic district at the time, there's talk about maybe them doing it on their own, but if we
Right.
get them involved in the district, then they can go after grants that are historic properties,
Right.
which, as you know, they wanna build to make it accessible, so that would help go for certain grants. So there's a little bit of urgency to it, to
Right.
get the library on it. I don't know how long the MHC takes to review.
I don't think it's a big deal.
There's a lot of properties in our case,
Right.
but a long time ago, Sue had gone to one of their meetings and had given like a, sampling of some of the documents, and she got a lot of accolades, like, this is exactly what we need, it's in really good shape, you know, you should be fine.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be any pushback on getting Simon Fairfield in the district as a specific property. Yeah, you have one right across the street,
Yeah.
and there's John's, Mechanic Street.
But we'd
building.
rather do it for them, we're like
Right, exactly.
further along.
Because also, once again, we're trying to make all types of improvements.
Right,
We gotta be careful how, like, we
Yes.
can't go the Jenks route because we can't afford to
Right.
be.
Restricted.
The library
Unrestricted.
can't afford any restrictions.
they're aware of that, you know, any library that's in,
Public place,
and I'd love to use, and I've asked this question. I go down to the Harrisville Library in Rhode Island all the
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
You know Harrisville? If they're hearing me here, I'm sorry, apologize. It's a little town, time forgot.
Right.
It's a little,
Not that unlike.
It makes Douglas look popping sometimes.
it's a very small district, but they have this incredible library. It's gotta be 10,000 square feet,
Mhm.
state of the art, several levels. There's a whole mill that's been restored down there. They have
The
summer,
restaurant and
they have
this
concert
mill.
series and a pavilion with vegetable gardens and all the rest of it during the summer. Like, how did this happen here?
Yeah.
I applaud it, but they clearly got funding from the state, the county, whatever, to
Rhode
make that
Island's
happen.
really good with that historic
Yeah,
district
so-
stuff.
And
Yeah.
I
My
keep
friends
saying
live
it,
in that district.
But this town gets a lot of pushback anytime you try to do certain things.
There's definitely gonna be that immediately people are gonna be like, I don't wanna be restricted from doing all this stuff. I'll have to think about like wording, how to make it really simple. This is not that, you know?
Honestly, like, do a pros, do a cons. I would do.
Yeah,
I would
that's a
do,
good idea.
I would do a
That's
pro
very
and
good.
con thing, and honestly, I mean,
Yeah, so we can work on that at some meeting
the,
or something
the,
too.
the biggest con is possible delay on demolition.
Right.
And on that same note, the town, to their credit, has been very good about whenever there's a request for a modification
Yeah.
or change to a property that's in the downtown district, even if it's not in the district, they contact me. There were a couple really beat-up old barns on Locust Street. They contacted me, said, these are older barns, is there any need for a demolition thing? And I looked at them and they said, no, they're gone, they're pretty much. But there were some minor changes for properties downtown. The building department contacted me, I think I sent it all out to you and said, I'm gonna get feedback. They happened fairly quickly, but they said if it's not gonna impact the facade facing the street, I said, then it's good to go.
Hi, Betsy.
Hello.
How
Hello.
are you?
Good.
Good, here.
So they've been very good about that.
Well, while you were out, we voted to nominate you as vice president for the historic.
Really?
That's what you get.
That's my punishment for
Yeah,
late.
that's your punishment.
If you choose to accept.
So,
By the way, you don't have a choice.
the duties,
Right.
this is a long list of duties.
Oh, none.
Having a title next to your name.
I know.
You learn the secret vice president handshake, you get the Dakota ring.
Yeah, should we do an official?
No, I think you're fine.
Okay. I never know how to do it.
I don't think anybody will come down screaming.
You never know.
Have to send a memo to the town, make sure everyone's okay with it.
We have welcomed Sarah in.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
And he's going through well, we kinda went through the whole district area and trying to get the, library on there such that the library can get, now, if it's in the district, they can,
Right.
they can apply for grants and funding and all the rest of it.
Yeah, so I was saying we're a little bit more urgent now to get that done, so the library can potentially partake of stuff for next, or later in the year, I guess.
So like I said, honestly, I know I sound like I'm busy, but if you need me to do stuff, like I said, in computers, I'm quick. She's seen me.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Not
'Cause
surprised.
I'm very good at some things, floor plans
And
and
very
other
nice
stuff,
and neat, everything I've seen.
but I'm challenged.
Yeah, we should,
Computer-wise.
yeah, so I'm gonna look at what's on this thumb drive and then we'll take it from there.
Right,
So we can email about that, and maybe if we need a working session in person, we'll pick a date too after that.
And I'm literally right up the road.
yeah, that's true.
I can walk.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I walk by your house all the time.
all right, good.
And we did lose a couple properties, we're just kinda going through that list. The
Mhm.
two barns on Locust Street were taken down. The old house on Webster Street, Route 16, that wasn't in the district, but. and
It wasn't that old.
No,
No.
wasn't that old either. They've
No.
taken that down. Mechanic Street property down here by Unibank, that came down. And
On Depot Street,
then Depot Street, the large, there
multifamily.
was a fire,
The
Number 40.
fire
Yeah.
and they're doing a
Was it
rebuild. But
40?
I've seen the plans for that and it's mostly on the back corner of the property. It's not going to impact the facade that faces the street. So I said that was good to go.
Yeah, so all of these, wait a minute, so how can we hear about the one on Depot Street? Like, what I was gonna start to say is these are not in a historic district.
Yet,
Oh, right, but we still heard about the one on Depot Street.
yeah.
I'm not sure what the difference is of why we hear about some and not others. I don't know if anybody knows.
I think some people just bring it to your attention and some
Yeah,
people just
okay.
don't
The building
bother.
department, she's now cognizant of that, and so every time there's an older property that's have something done about
Okay.
it, she lets me know, and I send it off to the group, say, is this gonna impact?
Okay.
So usually, said, I think it's okay what they're doing,
Yeah,
I just wanna get approval from everyone else.
so
And she
not
said,
super
"Fine."
official, but just,
Right.
yeah.
The thing is, most of the houses that they're looking to take down are or buildings, they're in such disrepair.
I know, I can't
You
remember
have
saying.
to have a fortune to be able to do anything to bring some of these back.
Right, right. So, yeah, because we looked at the one by email on Depot Street and it was like, what, you know, well, one, they were keeping the facade, which was great, and the other was making better use out
Right.
of it, so. Like you said, it was gonna be ridiculous to ask for more.
And honestly, I'm of the mindset, if it can't be done feasibly, reasonable price, within means, I'd rather have the building torn down than have it continue to go further into disrepair and look worse for the town.
You know,
what
I
mean?
wonder, yeah, if it came to that, I wonder if there could be, I'm not exactly something in place, but like I would love to see, if a building came down, someone reusing the parts, right? Or like someone who could.
Yes.
Right, like an architectural salvage
Yeah,
Yeah.
thing.
there are a lot of people, and I
Yeah.
Do you
actually,
know people in that
Yes,
neighborhood that we could
I-
have like a short list?
there's a place in, that barn was being coming down in Sudbury, and as it happens, the home inspectors for the property I sold on Route 16, the old Cape, 1790s Cape, knew about it, and I put the several restoration and salvage places in touch with them, and they spoke to each other so they could come in and actually take the beams and other pieces and
Okay.
take what they could out of the property.
Okay,
Mm.
yeah, so
But
maybe
a
we
lot
could,
of, if you look in the back of Anticombs Magazine, online as well, John's publication,
yeah,
there's a list of
Okay.
restoration and rehab salvage places that do that work.
I'm just saying, like, if it can't really be restored or rehabbed, I'd rather a building come down than continue to like fall further into disrepair.
it'd be dangerous even.
Be dangerous. It looks like
Yeah, there's a place down on Route 96,
you
an
go
1800s colonial down,
Mm.
heading down towards Rhode Island, on the left, it's abandoned, it's empty. It's gonna come down sooner or later.
and it doesn't look nice when you drive by. You're kind of, you know, like you drive places and you look at the rundown homes and you're kind of like,
Yeah,
you know, it puts a negative connotation.
Right.
One bad home can put a negative connotation on an entire area.
yeah, right. So anyway, I think if it comes to that, if we could, highly recommend they contact Architectural Salvage, which seems like a win-win too.
Yeah.
They get rid of some of the stuff there. And if you know, we can look at antique homes and kind of have that ready
Yeah.
if it comes to that. Okay, so we sort of skipped the budget review. Want to go
Yeah.
back to that? 'Cause
Sure.
that's something we need to vote on.
Yep. Yeah, I just got another one in my mailbox. Same number, 4,900.
So especially Siren probably needs the update on what that was all about.
Probably 10 years ago, we requested a funding, budget funding for having a ringer look at the properties before they get submitted to the MHC to make sure everything's, all the Ts are crossed and Is dotted. Personally, I don't think we need it because I think we now have enough technical savvy between Dawn, Becky, that everything will be in place properly so we can get it submitted. So I just assume waive it. I defer to the group.
If we waive it, it goes back to.
Back to the town. It goes back to the
We don't
Okay.
have, and then we have zero budget.
Right.
Do they usually give us like an annual budget of any kind?
No.
Like, I know some of the
I
things have like a
know.
little bit of money to work with.
This has been rolled over. Just-
And is this earmarked
So we get, like,
specifically
zero.
for this?
Yes.
Correct. So
Okay,
you
so-
can't use it for anything else.
Right.
So if we can't use it for anything else, I don't see the point in building.
Right.
You know,
Right.
if there was another use for it,
Not at the moment, and if there is, I think if we have something in the district, I think once we have the library in the district, then, like I said, we can go for grants and other things.
Yeah,
And then there
maybe
may be some other.
We can bring up that we gave almost $5,000 back.
Yeah.
Right, right.
You can leverage that.
you are so optimistic and so cute.
We voted to give money back.
Yeah.
I mean, if it can't be used for anything else, I don't
Right,
see
that's
there
pretty much its
being a
application.
point in hanging
Okay.
on to it.
Okay,
So, all in favor of giving the money back to the town?
I'll second.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thanks. I'll drop it off across the hall and let her know.
Okay,
And have her
Should be
email as
happy.
well. Yes.
yeah,
Should be happy.
okay.
Good, maybe I can have a stone wall rebuilt in the cemetery.
Yeah.
Hey now.
You could walk in right after, be like, I heard you.
Extra money.
So can we talk about that those extra funds that are just floating around?
Yeah. That's coming up really soon, right, the town meeting?
I guess sometime in May.
I think I thought it was, I thought it was
I don't
April,
know.
maybe I'm wrong.
May,
Wow,
it's usually
May.
like, last year I think it was May 7th, so this year I think it'll probably be May 5th.
It's always, yeah,
Okay.
like the first week in May.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, we didn't really, I don't know if there's much more to say, but the threatened properties, we talked about the ones that came down.
Right. I don't know what to
Sarah,
do
we
about
did
the
like
old
a
grammar
little
school.
tour of the old grammar school
Yeah,
and the old VFW a while
I
back.
showed her the pictures and
Okay.
I added her to the, I sent her
Google
the
Doc.
link to the Google Doc.
Did you
Okay.
guys ever do a walkthrough of the old fire station? I know it had been
No,
talked
we
about at one
talked
of the
about it,
meetings.
but
Yeah.
we haven't done that one.
And I did hear, you know, it's just like talk, but I did hear the selectmen mention that they were thinking of demoing the tower.
Oh.
I don't know
Of
if
demoing the
that
what?
was.
The tower.
of
The tower.
tower of the old fire station.
Before
I
it
don't-
falls down.
I don't
Yeah.
know if that was like an official thing, but they did bring it up at one of their
The pro-
things, so I didn't know
Is
if.
that in the district? Must be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the problem with the old fire station, it's just location.
Exactly.
You
that's what's-
can't do anything
No.
with it.
No.
There's no parking. There's not even really a
It's hard
street to it.
It's on one of the Cottage Street, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a really difficult property to even want to do
Right,
anything.
it's not like the school where you can actually do something with it.
Right.
So, yeah, I have no,
I wonder how many like that are done, like as far as,
The
you know,
thing-
because it was like, wasn't it I know it was listed under like government military, so they had, was it a watchtower at one point, I think? For
you can't see-
planes,
you
I know
can't see
I've
it-
heard
you
that
can't see
through
anything from there, it's an
many-
old spot.
All right, this is really crazy, and I'm just gonna, I'll say it, like, his Old Sturbridge Village, all those buildings came from elsewhere,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
They're not. It's Old
That's
Sturbridge
correct.
Village is not actually.
Oh, so
Old
what they want to
What
take.
they want,
the
they
fun-
don't have a fire station.
Then it's
That's
not
it.
within their time range.
No, it's a little late, because
It's
of whether
late for their
1830s,
time range.
1840s?
Yeah.
And well, how old is the fire station?
1880s.
Yeah, late 80s.
Because downtown didn't come into existence really till 1830s.
Yeah.
Cause there was a building attached to it and that's long gone.
Mhm.
But an interesting concept.
They use it
Yeah,
as storage.
Yeah.
The town uses it as storage.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I love old buildings, to take it down and just put up a storage garage for the town use.
Yeah.
Do you, I don't know it all that well, honestly. Do you know, in the, This Old House magazine will say, this property is threatened, right? And it costs $1 or something.
Right.
And then
Could
they
it-
sell it. But
Yeah.
it's
But
a
could it
sale.
ever be a home? Could someone ever make it like an unusual
Yes.
home?
If the
Right?
town chose to sell it.
But I think the town would rather take it down and use the property.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
If
And,
someone would wanna move it,
and
how do you move
honestly,
something like that?
I think,
You have to
Yeah.
disassemble it.
I
Yeah.
think
Huge amount
I
of
think
money.
there are more, like, I'd rather go after like the VFW or the grammar school.
Or yeah, that are closer to,
The company that did the Crown and Eagle also did the Blanchard School.
right, yeah. And
Right.
I have spoken to those people. That's an interesting thing, okay.
When did, I thought Masonic Hall was still in use.
It is, the
Yeah.
Masonic Hall, but that's not town owned.
But it's on the threatened properties, it says Masonic
I
Hall.
know, but it's not town owned,
Okay.
it's private.
In the mill site on Route 16, are you talking Cedar Street?
Yeah,
Private property.
Yep.
yeah.
And,
Yeah, and I know the woman who owns it, and she's just,
well, I mean, that sign is still there
know.
saying, this is not
Yeah,
a,
that does, looks kind of untouchable.
I know, that's
Leave
not-
that alone. I'm not poking that thing.
Yeah.
So I can ask the Blanchard's school group and see if there's any interest in doing anything with the
Who
fire
was the
station.
company that did that?
I don't have their name offhand, I just have,
I
I have
can't
emails
remember.
from them.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, yeah.
Do they have any interest?
I haven't broached that with them yet.
Okay.
It's just come up now because,
Okay.
I did a tour of the Crown and Eagle.
I was just in there, my mother's friend lives there.
Yes, you're right, Carol
Oh
Fitzgerald.
gosh, yes, I was supposed to say hello to you.
Yeah, and she's the one that gave me the tour.
and I have an old mill, book of old mills published in the 70s, and it shows the Crown and Eagle before it was rehabbed.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah, it's a great mill book about all these old mills throughout, a
Oh.
lot of which are gone.
You just reminded me of what you had started to say, redoing the Belding book. So from the Historical Society, I found out the Harvard book, what is it called?
Huh?
There is
You
the
can
building.
reprint.
what?
Oh, I don't know with a Belding book, because we thought we found it at one point, but
We thought we found it 15
All right.
times and they're all photocopies.
it's just a thought, but when this district with 200 and whatever properties on it, once that's done and approved, maybe that becomes a book, because you
Right.
can print through
Well,
the
that's,
Harvard
that, well,
bookstore for
that's
like
what I
you can.
asked. Is
minimal
like,
Yes,
money.
yeah.
and honestly,
We're
part,
getting a tangent, and I forgot to mention that.
part of me would love to. Is there an original copy of the Belding book outside of town?
No,
So there is not, like, it's not
there
filed.
might be one in the state archives, I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm like.
I don't know if they kept
Right,
them.
right.
Because honestly, I would like if there's because the problem is with the Belding book, the pictures are horrible
Yep,
Yeah.
Okay.
because they're all
The
photocopied.
photocopies are photocopies.
And they're photocopies
black
of photo,
and white.
and they're black and white, and they're from the 80s.
and
Do I
they're
really
like
need to
so
say
dark,
more?
you can barely see the building.
And how far does, is Belding, it's not the whole town, is it?
Yeah.
It is the whole town
It is the
as
whole
of
town.
50 years
1980.
back from 89.
Okay.
So if it was,
Oh, so only the older properties at that.
so that
So
requires
that's
me to do math.
39.
Yeah, 30.
Yeah, because that's, it's interesting because the huge Schuster Mansion is not in the district because it was built in 39.
Neither is the cave
Wow.
house because the cave house was built in 28.
Yeah.
Right.
And the other thing is, if we do a book like this,
Mhm.
which I am totally for doing, we need to be very thoughtful about how we lay it out. This book is in a horrible layout. They
Yeah,
are-
the format's not good.
Well, no, not only that, they're not all in alphabetical order by the streets. The numbers aren't all correct all the time.
Nope,
Like,
'cause the town was renumbered.
You have, like,
Yeah.
I probably spent a good week going through originally trying to like mark everything. I've done my own index so I can try and find stuff because
Yeah.
it is a horrible book to find stuff in.
Okay.
So I'm good at it because I know the book.
Yes, yeah.
I've become very familiar with the book.
So it's only lives at the library at this point?
Yeah, but if somebody else were to come in, they would
It's
pretty much.
online.
Well, so we were.
On
we-
the archive side of the library or where
no,
is it?
no, you're talking Macros, but the problem
Yeah.
is they don't have this aspect online. This part is not on.
Oh, isn't it?
They have all of this. They don't have this.
Okay. I also know there's more properties on Macros than there is in the book.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
it has been added to.
yeah. But I'm just saying, I'm all for doing something like that. I just think when we do it, we need to be very thoughtful
Yeah.
of how
it's
we
arranged.
Then we
lay it
could-
out.
Index
And
it.
then the obvious place to sell it is the junk store, so we would just
Or
somehow would, oh,
or you could do
the
the library, or you could even do the town hall.
Right?
And those were done by people outside of the town.
Yeah.
They were
So,
done by MHC, so they weren't, like
People
anybody
that-
that knew anything about it.
Wouldn't, yeah,
Right,
they were versed in the town.
I don't think they even told anybody, they just
Ancestry.
came in and did it and left.
And I mean, the main news sources they used were the Marsh,
Right.
and then the Brown,
Right.
the article from Brown in the Worcester
Historic.
book.
Worcester
Museum.
County books.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those were their two main sources. But I mean, the Marsh book gives you pretty much everything you needed to know about every house anyway. A little gossip.
All right, so grant possibilities, I'm not sure we're gonna pursue that at this
Not yet.
point. Outreach for related town historic groups and plaques potentially at the cemeteries. So I think I'm already the transition to the historic society.
I do
You
the
guys are
library.
both on cemetery, right? Did I have that right?
I'm not on it, but
I
I'm
am.
running for it.
Oh, that's right, you will be.
She will be, hopefully.
Yeah.
So that town vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're telling me I actually have to do the town vote this year?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I never heard about the voting from Super Tuesday. Let me see that. I'm on the ballot.
So, my neighbor Chris Moran, her sons are both, well, one's out now, but they're both Eagle Scouts, and
Oh, yes, Maxwell helped on that project.
their Eagle Scout project was doing, help me out here.
They took the cemetery and did a whole catalog of it, like all the who's in the
veterans,
cemetery.
they've got all the veterans,
Oh, wow.
all of that.
Which is Pines? Is it Pines?
I think she did multiple.
I know it's there. I just can't remember
Yeah,
the name of
he,
it.
um,
Pine or everything.
I think Rourke started one, and Riley
Yes.
started, like, Riley finished it up.
Yeah.
But she'll be getting me that, which will have cemetery with all the veteran information.
Are those all the cemeteries?
No, not all the
Not
cemeteries.
all of
the
them, but I
little
think-
private ones, no.
I
Right.
think they got the big ones.
Right.
I know they presented it to the
Is someone-
VFW.
Yeah. I was there. I just don't remember what the name.
Yeah, like I said, I know, the older boy started with one cemetery, and then the younger one finished it up.
Right. It's the same.
What did he use as a source?
They went like through the cemetery, like that was one of the
They
things.
physically were there, like writing things down.
So once I get a hold of it, I'll look it over and share with you.
Okay.
So the idea is maybe have veteran VA and other plaquing program put in place for the
Mhm.
cemeteries. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a nice idea.
I said
Um,
I know they submitted it to the VFW when
Yeah.
everything was said and done.
Yeah, on that note, like, once we do get the historic district done, it would be nice if we, I don't know, even like a, commercial source that would give people a way to, if they wanted a plaque and people order them all at once, you know?
Signage program.
Yeah.
Well, they already have, if you're because of the Blackstone Valley Corridor, people know that they're entering
Right.
this corridor when they come in anywhere around
Yeah.
town, it's great.
Right.
Say if you're entering East Douglas Historic District.
Right, but I was thinking more like individual homes, right,
Right.
that everybody pays $50 or whatever it is. There's a group making it right.
Are the properties that have been taken down since this project has started, what are you doing with those files? I mean, you can't really submit them, but I almost think they should be held on.
Documented.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
cause I can say
Yeah.
like, I get questions about just like, well, this is a lot and there used to be a house here. What can you
Right.
tell me about the house?
Right, right.
Yeah.
So I feel like those do need to be, I just don't want them to get discarded. I
Yeah,
almost
keep
would,
file of,
and almost create like a separate
Demoed property.
section, yeah.
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 We
So
used to
that's-
update those books in Uxbridge when we had ours, because we have the original copies of those, but I used to make a notation in them.
When it was demoed and.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
'cause other
maybe,
people
maybe
would
it's an
come in and see
appendix to the whole thing, saying here are properties that were in town, here's the images, whatever, they've since been demoed, but this is the history of them.
Cause like I said, more than once I've had people ask me about like,
The one up on North Street, taken down a couple years ago.
it's like, well, there's a post here that we think what was here before, that type of stuff.
Right, where was the Spooner house,
Yeah.
right? It was right next door to the library, it was a beautiful old house, and
Yeah.
everybody looks at it in the books and go, where's that house?
Yeah.
That was fire, right? That was a
Yeah,
big fire.
right.
Oh, so where Univate? I mean, where
It was in
Webster
the,
First
it-
is?
yes, it was right there.
Don't they still have the archways in the James building? I think?
Oh, I don't
They're in
know.
there.
There are archways in the Jenks building, but that didn't come, I don't think.
Didn't come from there?
I
Oh,
don't
okay,
think
I
so.
thought
think
somebody
they-
had told me it
didn't
did.
Somebody
but
donated it? Could be.
I think so,
but
I
I
can't
don't
remember
know.
who told me that.
I don't know.
Somebody, but now I can't remember.
In the barn.
Right.
Everything's in the barn.
Everything's in the barn,
Oh, God, with the mice.
and everything else.
Okay, so the only other thing is other business.
So,
Don't have any.
just an FYI, we had a descendant of the Coppola family. He was Anthony's nephew. He's from North Carolina,
Oh, wow.
and he came and he was coming up. He met with Nancy Colinero. He spent 3 days with me at the library,
Wow.
looking through stuff, talking about the stuff in town.
How old is this?
He was in his 70s.
Oh, okay.
But he showed a big interest. He actually contacted the rest of the family.
Nice.
He had digitized the Coppola book.
I'm so
sorry. He had digitized the Coppola book, and we got a hold of Terry, and the library does have permission to put it up on the website.
Oh, good. So you'll have it on the website?
Yep, by doing it this way, there's no royalties, nothing like that. They're allowing us to put it up as a source.
Excellent. That's good. Can you let us know when that's done, Becky? Yeah, can you
Yeah.
also let the historic, do a Facebook post to the Historic Society?
Actually, and there is something else here. This came in September, from Mass DOT. I'll just read it to you. They're proposing pavement milling and overlay on Route 146 in Douglas, Northbridge, Sutton, and Uxbridge. The project area extends over 10.5 miles on 146. So it's basically, they're saying is it gonna be close to the historic district. Says the project will be supported in part by the federal funds dispersed through the Mass DOT. The project therefore will require review under Section 106 of the National Historic Preservation Act of 1966 as amended. The enclosed project information is provided to the Douglas Historic Commission to initiate consultation with appropriate representatives of local government in compliance with the regulations governing Section 106. And again, it's just, it's 146. I don't think any of it's gonna be.
It's only 146?
That's what it says.
It's only
Not for a
146.
destroy.
So it's not gonna affect us.
And it won't touch us, right?
Fine, do whatever you want.
Any questions,
Leave it,
any
please.
contact information?
Not much.
No, not much.
Does 146 even go through?
No, well, there's a little tiny V of the town that pokes in somewhere south and hits, I think, the right of way on 146.
Okay. I'm
That's all.
looking, I'm like, do
So
we
it's
even?
like, just right here?
There's that one section where, it's hard to see, but there's these little pyramids of land that actually extend in.
It's so weird, cause like Sutton crosses over.
Yeah, Sutton, Uxbridge and Northbridge, where they meet, there's kind of one little area that might actually be involved.
Yeah, but they're not coming off the highway and paving
No,
the
no.
downtown, so I
Nope.
think we're okay.
So this is, just trying to figure out where we are, this is 16
Yeah.
here, so where about would this little leg be? If that's Route 16.
Near Uxbridge?
I just said, I think it's further south, it's down near, yeah, Davis Street.
Yeah.
Oh. So it's
hard to tell.
like- yeah, it is on that.
Yeah.
You're never gonna hear me
Where
say
are we
no to them
at that?
paving 146. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
And as I said, that's the little top corner of Douglas, it's the little top corner of Douglas that both happen to touch
Like
146.
some little leg of 146.
So that's it. I don't think it's an issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can pave all of 146 except for this little square right here.
Yeah, right.
Right, and I don't even think we touched the road, so.
Yeah, right.
Right. I was just looking at the minutes from before. David, we talked about you getting on the selectmen's agenda to talk about coordinating a project, but maybe that's something for a lot later.
Yeah.
I think we need to focus on
The district,
The
especially with the
district.
library and part of it. But what do you think, does anyone think it would be helpful to talk to the selectmen or some of the meetings coming up? Depending how far we get, just to say this is coming, don't be nervous about it, like be proactive with it?
Sure,
Does a
sure.
selectmen's meeting make sense for that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Are you, look like you're, I'm not sure.
I guess part of me is like, should we get it done before we?
Yeah, when it's almost ready, so we're
Well,
not
yeah.
talking next month.
Yeah,
Right.
no, I'm just,
Oh, okay. I'm thinking next
Well,
week.
that-
the week
well,
after.
that's what- that's-
To send the letters out, I guess is what I'm, we're about to
Right.
send
Oh, yeah, no,
letters.
oh, I
Before we send the
definitely,
letters out, yes.
yeah, I agree with that,
Yeah.
because like I said, you just look at the direction of the town and you send something like that out and you are just going to get,
But we don't want any money, so I think we're good.
but we're telling
Yes.
people, but
And
we're
we
telling
didn't
them
ask
it's,
any town money to do this, just our time.
but we're saying historic district and people are gonna see that and the
That's
hackles
why you
are,
have to, you have to
the
explain
hackles
that
are,
there's no,
Yeah, so
There's
there's,
no,
and there's gonna
regulations
be
involved.
communication on Dynamic Douglas, and maybe if we had a Board of Selectmen meeting, we had that link that we could share, listen to this.
yeah,
We'll explain what it is and is not,
Right.
and,
exactly.
You can still paint your house purple.
Yeah.
and,
Yes.
and the thing is, we already have a historical district in town. It's
yeah,
not-
that's a good thing to
It's not like
reference.
this is brand new.
Right,
We've done plenty of stuff on our end of town that,
right, yeah. So there's a precedent there. And it hasn't
Do you need to
affected
go?
property
no,
values.
oh no, my, I'm getting sports updates in my,
Oh,
my-
important.
yes, for
Playing
me.
these days. And then I was supposed to give an update on the Historical Society each time, so, gosh, there's like lots, I mean, there's probably everybody got a postcard to the quarterly potluck things that are going
Yeah.
on. Lori's due to come back, who's been in Arizona. Everyone goes to Arizona, what is it?
No humidity.
Cheap.
Yeah. For several months, and I don't know, it's mostly, there's a lot of events. There's a mailing that's gonna be going out, every door direct mail, hopefully, so everybody gets it.
And when is the store being open for the summer?
So there's a lot of, there's a meeting tonight, and, there's a lot of back and forth about what's happening with the farmer's market, so that's probably gonna get figured out tonight. I don't know what's happening with that, where it will be.
Besides
I
Locust
thought
Street?
they were doing with the Douglas Orchard now, or
It
did-
might not be recorded, but it's to be determined tonight.
Okay,
So, so that's a big question, because that's, one point of that was for it to be open and people be able to get in there, but there should be yard sales, if not that, there should be yard sales maybe on the Sundays. Maybe not every weekend, but a lot of the weekends throughout the summer, so that's one way that people can get in. And then, there's a calendar of events, so that'll be in the mailer, and it'll be on Facebook as far as like pumpkin thing, the rhubarb challenge, there's gonna be quarterly member meetings, which are really open to anybody, that are potluck, and there'll be like a speaker of some sort there. I'm not officially on events, but, I'm supposed to be doing collections, but I haven't done anything new on those. Sarah was gonna help me with Facebook stuff, but like, other people have taken that on. More stuff coming for the gift shop, but, I don't know. Like, as far as, like, someone's supposed to be doing a Stonewall presentation, but that's in conjunction with the senior center. So as far as I know, that's gonna be held at the senior center, not at the Jenks store. So there aren't a lot of like programs that are not either like food related or membership related, like not really that many speakers who are like, except for the rock wall person. And that's all I can think of.
They've been maintaining their building?
Kind of, so then we found out about, I don't know if you were in for the whole conversation, but, there is, so the Jenks store that's on the historic register as a single building has a preservation restriction, because got certain grant money, they can't do like anything to the building without going to the MHC. So there's knob and tube wiring that needed to be removed in order to proceed with certain, they wouldn't insure everything
code
without that. So, but they couldn't just fix that, they had to go to the MHC to approve anything and anything like that. There's quotes out for the porch, but that again is either we're waiting for a contractor to get back, or it has to go to the MHC before that can be done. But that's top priority, is getting that porch fixed up. The barn's on the list for later on to do fixing, and maybe even have someone there as a resident who lives there for a cheaper rent, who has to do tours of the building long term. So I'm probably forgetting some things, but those are the so I'll take better notes for next one. Okay, so do we want to pick a time for the next meeting?
Sure.
I think if we really wanna get this done, we
Yeah.
have to
May.
almost stay on
Okay.
top of things.
Okay, so I think the 9 a.m. is good for most of
Yep.
us, right?
Yep.
It's good for me as long as it's a Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Yep.
Okay. All right,
Otherwise,
so,
I could always do 10 a.m. on any other day.
okay.
And I can't do after 10 on Monday and Wednesdays.
Okay. Well, if it's okay with everybody, let's stick for Tuesday at 9.
Okay.
And, what's today? So we're early March. Want to do like mid-April or earlier?
Let's say mid-April at best,
Yep.
At best, at earliest or latest?
latest, no, at earliest, for
Okay.
me.
All right, so let me just throw some dates. So there's, Tuesday, the 14th of April.
That's good.
Yeah?
Sure.
9?
Yeah. Does anybody want a Google invite? I mean, like a calendar invite by email? Do you guys use those?
Yeah.
I'm okay. I usually will
Okay.
put it in my
I
phone
write it down.
calendar, so.
Already in there. Becky?
Yeah.
I'll set myself an alert. I always do that, so.
Okay, I just put it in my calendar that way and I can add you guys easily.
Sorry.
We'll just double check that date again.
I live and breathe by this thing.
Yeah, that's the Tuesday after Easter, that's not.
Yep.
Okay,
Good.
all right, so motion to adjourn?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.